115 with Aston Villa. It's the 22nd of August 2015 and it's the start of our second season in charge at Villa Park, and hopefully it can be a more successful season than last time out. Of course, last time out, if you did miss the last episode, which I strongly advise you check out because it's kind of a bit of an end of season review, we did finish in 16th place, only 2 points above relegation, which was pretty disappointing to be honest, which has meant we are predicted to come 13th this year actually, so we've gone up since last year despite us being 2 points behind, or 2 positions behind where we were expected to come last year. Expected to come 13th this year. The newly promoted clubs, if you haven't seen them already, are Wigan, Nottingham Forest and Cardiff are back up, and of which we are playing Wigan today in the first game of the season. As you can see, Manchester United played Everton earlier on today and beat them 2-1. But anyway, into the transfers, as that is the most important part really about pre-season. Well, that's what most exciting part, I suppose. As you can see, a whole load of people going out. Only 5 coming in, but I do feel we've gone for quality rather than quantity coming in, and we've got rid of really the dead wood going out. So I'm only going to really go across the big names departures, I suppose. So Nathan Baker left for 1.5 million to Sunderland. Didn't quite get his game, and we decided to just flog him on. The same with Andy Vine, he went to Sunderland as well. 6 million for him. Just didn't have a very productive last season, and really with the with us scrapping wingers, we don't really need him, to be honest. Darren Bent went on a free transfer. He's now at Rotherham. Jeez, on only £8.5 a week. That's actually a pretty good deal from Rotherham, I would have said. Don't really need to know any of these. Enda Stevens got a Huddersfield. Seagrass, did he pick anyone up? No, he's still a free agent. All these guys just youngsters that didn't quite make it. Then we're back here. Philippe Seneros went for 500k to Kievo. Didn't quite make it into the team and decided to get rid. One of the bigger ones, one of the bigger departures was Rene Adler going for 5.75 million to Stuttgart. Then we only brought him in last year for 4.5 million, but he really unimpressed me, conceding an average of 2 goals a game in all competitions, which is shit, to be honest. And he just didn't impress me at all, so I decided to get rid. If you've already glanced to the left-hand side, you will have seen that we've brought in a very good replacement, though. Donatian went on loan. Antonio Luna came back from loan and went straight back out, 3.5 million to Burnley, which I think was a good deal. Nicholas Hellenius, he came back also from loan, 5 million to Swansea. Bakuna, 3.4 million to Burnley because he was in the last season of his contract and he wouldn't sign a new one. Joe Bennett for 1 million to Wigan. Kieran Clark for 1 million to Burnley, which I was a bit of a steal for Burnley actually, because he's probably worth $1 million, I'd say. And the rest were loans, including Federico Bonazzoli going out on loan again. He's improving well though, which is good to see for the youngster. Anyway, as I said before, 5 guys coming in for a combined total of £15 million. 2 free transfers and 3 signings. 3 signings, all from South American clubs. So the first guy we coming in was a guy you've already seen because he was tied up in January. 4.5 million for Federico Bravo. Coming in from Boca Juniors. He seems to be a really good defensive midfielder. I'm not sure whether he's going to quite be first team all this year, although especially when there's injuries like there is at the moment, he's definitely going to have to step in. As you can see, as a bowling midfielder, he's really well rounded off, and I do recommend you guys pick him up because for 4.5 million, I think that's a bit of a steal for Boca Juniors. Next man in was the guy we had last year, Tom Cleverley. We had him on loan last year. I've brought him in on a free transfer, which I think is a steal for somebody of Cleverley's class. He was a bit underwhelming last year, to be honest. And I decided I wasn't going to opt for the 4.5 million kind of release clause I suppose we had in his loan contract. But then I realised his contract is expiring, and I thought, well, for a free transfer, he's worth it. So I decided to pick him up. Fortunately, he's out for 2 to 7 days, so he will not be featuring in today's first game of the season. Then the big one, really, the big, not money move in terms of transfer fee, but I suppose he's hogging a bit of the wage budget at 84 grand a week, is Victor Valdez, the ex-Barcelona keeper. Coincidentally, he wasn't picked up by anybody after leaving Barcelona, which I found odd. So we are only Victor Valdez's second club, which is quite interesting. He's a stunning keeper, really, and he really just outdoes Adler in so many ways. If we have a look at the comparison between the two, like there's no comparison, because he's just so much better than Adler, and hopefully he can provide us a little more stability in between the sticks this year. Next signing was the biggest transfer fee of the lot, $6 million for Guido Pizarro, also another guy coming from South America. The Argentinian, no, sorry, not that at all. The Mexican First Division, sorry. So no, he's not come from South America. He's come from North America. But Guido Pizarro for $6 million from Tigre in Mexico. Another really well-rounded off centre mid. He's going to be playing in centre mid rather than defensive mid, I suppose, which he could play as well. Possibly as a deep-lying playmaker support. As you can see again, really well-rounded off. Not many stats under, like 12 is his worst there, and that's long shots, which really isn't too important. So again, for $6 million, I think he's quite good, and only 32 grand on the wages, which is probably not the worst. And then I suppose the best signing I feel of the window was Eder Alvarez Balanta, known over FM14 and now into FM15 as being one of the best wonder kids you'll ever get. And for 4.7 million, that is an absolute steal from River Plate. He's a beast of a centre back and also filling at left back as well. Again, injured again today, so he's not going to feature, which is a bit disappointing actually. Only 24 grand on the wages as well, which is a steal. And he's contracted till 2019, so he's looking good. And for 4.7 million, I think that was really money well spent. Anyway, just quickly browsing over pre-season, a bit underwhelming to be honest. We drew 1-1 with the under-21s, beat Lech 3-0, lost 2-1 to Cologne, lost 3-2 to Hamburg, drew 1-1 with FC Knowles, beat Tamworth 4-0, beat Cagliari 3-1, and beat Cardiff 1-0. So we go into today's game though, we're littered with injuries though, as you can see 5 players out injured, most of them occurring in the centre back position. So we've got Valdez in goal, back for Richardson at left back because Ali Sissoko is injured as well, Villar, Alan Hutton having to fill in at centre back. Kind of glad I actually didn't sell him now, even though he will be going as soon as possible. Baruzzi at right back, then Bravo, Pizarro, Delph, Grealish, Benteke and Ings. So apart from that, really, it's kind of full strength, apart from one centre back and the left back. So as you can see, though, look at this for the injuries. Balanta centre back / left back, Okore centre back, Dan Burn centre back, Sissoko left back, and Cleverly centre mid. So don't tell me that we don't really have depth in centre back. It's just an extremely unfortunate position we're in, where 3 of our 4 centre backs are injured. So we've had to call upon Alan Hutton, which of course isn't ideal, but it's one I've just had to do. Anyway, if we get into today's game, is there going to be... Yeah. So we're just kind of going through that standard enough tunnel interview, which I suppose is quite a nice little feature they have. It can be a bit annoying on occasions, but I suppose that's only me. Just when you're trying to get through the game quite quickly, as that's a fairly shoddy team talk to start off the season. Let's hope everything's set, and it is, but it's lagging. I don't really know why. Hopefully it will stop lagging. Anyway, here's Pizarro, Delph, Grealish, Delph now. Here's Pizarro, Danny Ings. It's a decent enough stop from Nichols in goal for them. Here's Alan Hutton, who's for some reason out at left back taking the throw-ins. Here's Pizarro, back out to Bravo, Pizarro, Grealish. In behind for Gino Peruzzi, but he's offside, which is a real disappointment because that would have been a lovely, well-worked goal involving a lot of the South Americans now within our team. And Fabian Delph has now picked up an injury to just compile the woes, really, in terms of injuries. As Carlos Sanchez is going to have to come on. We're actually going to switch him and Bravo around because I feel Sanchez is a much better defensive midfielder, and Bravo is probably a better option at centre midfield than Sanchez is. So we've made that substitution. Fabian Delph unfortunately going off after 17 minutes, and Gino Peruzzi is also now taking a little knock, but it doesn't look like we'll have to substitute him just yet. Bravo looking for that. Grealish finds a Benteke now. Oh, that's a poor pass by Benteke. Vlaard as well, though, and in behind forward Danny Ings, whose touch is a shocker. But they're just feeding the ball back to us. It's been a fairly cagey performance from them on their return to the Premier League, and we really should be battering them. And Benteke here has hit the post twice in a row from a cute angle. I don't know why he didn't try and square it to Danny Ings. I will not quite know the answer to that, unless you asked him himself. A bit selfish. A bit disappointing actually that first half, because we really should be 1-0 up here. We're going to go attacking so we can maybe try and just get the goal, I suppose, and then we won't have to worry so much, because if we go 1-0 I suppose we can start sitting back again and allowing them come on to us, as Benteke is caught offside there right at the start of this second half. The last thing we want though is them to score, because they really don't deserve to score, but knowing FM, they will get one chance and will score. And we've nobody outright here, and that's sometimes, I suppose, the drawbacks of playing such a narrow formation, as Jack Grealish could be in behind, and that is a stunning goal from the young Irishman. It's a decent enough ball through by Pizarro, but to have that clinical finishing, I suppose it was fairly shoddy defending, but look at this, he takes it on a run and boom, there's no stopping that for Nichols, and it's 1-0, and we're instantly going to drop back the counter because we don't want to get caught too far up the field. Oh Jesus Christ, they're going to score, aren't they? Waghorn back out to Irby Emanuelson. Forshaw, I do not believe it. It's just, you come to expect it from FM, to be honest. They have one chance, they've scored one. We've had thousands of chances, and yet we've only put one in the back of the net. Chris Mateke really played shocking today. And we're going to take him off, bring on Gabby Agbonlahor, stick him as an advanced forward alongside Danny Ings as a poacher. We're probably going to have to ditch the more direct passing and hopefully work it a little bit better on the ground. See what we can... Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh my fucking God, Victor Valdez, what have you done on your Villa debut? And this kind of sums up FM15. I'm not sure whether you guys would think the same, but this sort of shit happens all the time to me. It's a fucking hell, it's lagging. I don't really know why it's lagging. I'm sorry about that. I hate lag in my games. And there's Peruzzi. It's poor. It's going to be 3-1, isn't it? It was a decent save this time round from Victor Valdez. If only he hadn't kept out the slightly easier one earlier. It's Gabby Agbonlahor off the bench to give ourselves the equaliser immediately. And that is a key goal, because really if we'd lost this game, this would have been an absolute shocker. A good pass through by Grealish though, and a confident finish from Agbonlahor. Maybe proving me wrong for keeping him out of the team. Bravo on his debut. Couldn't quite convert after Ron Vlaar hit the bar from a free. Here's Victor Valdez now. What can he do? That's another shit pass from the... Here's Valdez now. No, Peruzzi, don't do anything silly. Don't give it back to Valdez. Jesus Christ! What's he trying to do to me? But we get away with it this time around. And Gabby Agbonlahor going all the way, but he sends the ball over. It's a poor enough effort. And it does look like this game is going to go down as a draw. A 2-2 draw. There's a fair few positives to take out of it, but then there's a few negatives as well, which really is kind of the keeper issue. Doesn't seem to be sorted, even though I felt the signature of Victor Valdez was going to turn things around. It obviously hasn't, as he's played a 6.1 on debut. Jack Grealish playing a 9 though, and Guido Pizarro playing an 8.9. That's really positive signs, I suppose, and ones that I'm looking forward to them having a decent enough season, I hope. He had a debut to remember, that's for sure. Anyway, interestingly enough, the next